There was a haunted house at the end of Maple Street. Maple Street was the kind of place people trusted. Wide sidewalks, neatly trimmed lawns, porch lights that flicked on at sunset like clockwork. Kids rode bikes until dinner, and neighbors waved even if they didn't know your name. Except for the house at the very end. No one remembered when it was built. No one remembered who lived there last. What everyone did remember was when the house stopped being normal. The windows were always dark. The paint peeled in long, curling strips like dead skin. And the front porch light, broken for years, sometimes turned on by itself. People said it was nothing. Bad wiring. Old houses do strange things. But no one ever stayed long enough to find out. I moved to Maple Street the summer I turned 16. My parents loved the neighborhood, said it was safe, quiet, perfect for starting over. They never mentioned the house at the end of the street until moving day, when the truck stalled right in front of it. That place has been empty for a while, the driver muttered. Avoiding the windows. You don't want to live too close. I laughed it off. That was my first mistake. First night, I noticed the light. I was unpacking boxes when I glanced out my bedroom window. The house at the end of Maple Street stood in shadow, except for one window on the second floor. A single yellow light glowed softly behind the glass. I blinked. Every neighbor had told us the house had no power. The next morning, the light was gone. I asked around. Mrs. Collins from across the street said she'd seen it too. So had the mailman. A kid down the block swore he heard footsteps inside while walking home from school. But no one ever goes in, he said, and no one ever comes out. The stories piled up. Doors opening on their own. Shadows moving behind curtains that hadn't existed for years. And always the same detail. The house only reacted when someone was watching. A week later, I woke up at 3:12 a.m. I don't know why. No noise, no dream, just that feeling you get when something is wrong. I looked out my window. The house was lit up. Every window, every floor, like it was fully alive. And then, slowly, the lights began turning off. One by one. Top floor, second floor, first floor, until only one window remained. The one facing my bedroom. I told myself it was coincidence. That's what you say when reality starts slipping. The next night, I heard the sound. Footsteps. Not outside. Inside my room. I sat up in bed, heart racing. My door was closed. My parents were asleep down the hall. The footsteps stopped. Then came a knock. 3 slow taps. From my bedroom window. The next morning, something was carved into the fogged glass. A message, scratched deep enough to leave marks. Stop watching. We called the police. They searched the house at the end of Maple Street that afternoon. Forced the door open. Searched every room. They found dust, cobwebs, rotting floorboards. No power, no furniture. No signs anyone had been there in years. The officer looked tired when he left. Probably some kids messing around, he said. Best to stay away. But that night, the house watched back. I noticed it first in the reflection. The dark TV screen showed my room behind me, and the house's second floor window glowing softly. When I turned around, my own bedroom light turned off. I wasn't touching the switch. The glow from outside grew brighter. And then I realized something that made my stomach drop. The light wasn't coming from the house anymore. It was coming from inside my room. The air felt heavy, pressurized, like the house was breathing through the walls. I heard a voice then, not loud, not whispering, just calm. You've been looking for me, it said. The window glass rippled like water. The reflection shifted. I wasn't alone in it. Behind me stood a shape that looked almost human, but wrong, stretched thin, like a shadow pretending to be a person. You noticed, it continued. That's how it works. The lights in the neighborhood went out all at once. Total darkness. Except for my room. I ran. Down the hall. Past my parents' room. Empty. Too empty. Like they had never been there at all. The front door wouldn't open. From outside, I heard footsteps approaching. Slow. Familiar. The same ones I'd heard inside my room. The voice came again, now from everywhere. The house doesn't belong to a place, it said. It belongs to whoever sees it last. The doorknob turned on its own. I woke up on the sidewalk. Morning sunlight. Neighbors gathered around me. Sirens in the distance. They said I'd been found unconscious, right in front of the house at the end of Maple Street. The house was gone. Just an empty lot. Overgrown grass. No foundation. No debris. Like it had never existed. My parents don't remember moving there. No one does. But sometimes, late at night, when everything is quiet, I see a familiar glow in my bedroom window. And I understand now. The house did not disappear. It moved. And someday soon, someone else will notice it too.